Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi Night LIGHT, where I basically just talk about random topics that somehow relate to sci-fi and horror. So, in the past couple of years, there have been quite a few disease scares, or, well, even if a disease, such as Ebola, has existed for a while and it only becomes dangerous when white people get affected. Either way, it's easy to get wrapped up in the disease scares, but luckily for us, there's way worse diseases out there in the realms of sci-fi and horror that will make bird flu seem like a common cold. However, we're going to exclude zombie viruses as we've already done quite a few zombie videos and most of the outbreaks are kind of similar. So let's check out some of the deadliest sci-fi diseases from cinema. The 2008 film Doomsday, directed by Neil Marshall, is a really fun love letter to classic post-apocalyptic films, and it pays homage pretty nicely. In the flick, a disease called the Reaper virus, that's pretty appropriately named I guess, starts spreading in Scotland, forcing the British government to quarantine all of Scotland as a diseased zone, building an enormous wall to make sure to keep the disease out. The symptoms of the Reaper virus seem to be gross boils and coughing blood or something, and it seems to be extremely deadly.
It was an epidemic unlike any other. Within days, millions were infected.
Or not, as the quarantined Scots seem to ride out the disease with the only side effects of immunity being an urge to dress up like Mad Max characters, and I guess that's not too bad. I mean, I'd rather look like, say, this guy, than die by coughing up all the blood in my body.
We're losing our city.
It's pretty grim.
The next disease isn't really deadly per se, but it will wipe out humanity if not cured. In the excellent and underrated 2006 film Children of Men, the entire world's human population has become sterile.
The ultimate mystery. Why are women infertile? Some say it's genetic experiments, pollution. Why do you think we can't make babies anymore?
Which for some insane reason is blamed on immigrants, just like in real life.
We need to build a wall.
The symptoms? Well, sterility, obviously. Exactly what disease has spread and how it started is unclear, as we're left in the aftermath of the outbreak. In the film, our hero, played by Clive Owen, gets tasked with protecting the first person to get cured of a virus, as a young girl actually manages to get pregnant. Admittedly, this film is much more about the dangers of fascism and breakdown of society than disease itself, but it shows what kind of a chaotic result we could end up with when a disease threatens our continued existence.
Doesn't matter. It's all over in 50 years. It's too late.
Move along!
Onto something a bit more lighthearted, a disease that makes you old.
What a way to die.
In Season 2, Episode 12 of Star Trek The Original Series, the crew of the USS Enterprise comes into contact with a disease that causes extremely rapid aging.
I am 29. And the lady's I'm 27.
And of course it gives off some pretty obvious symptoms. This makes it very hard to control the Enterprise, and to make things even worse, Romulans attack while our beloved crew look less like the experienced dream team they are, and more like the people still waiting for Half-Life 3. It turns out that adrenaline cures the aging disease, which seems a bit off, as you think you'd experience quite a bit if you saw yourself 40 years older, but what do I know about futuristic diseases?
Most illogical reaction.
The very same disease would show up in Season 2 of The Next Generation, but we remember it best with Kirk and the original gang.
I did not say you weren't affected, Mr. Spock. You are perfectly healthy. That is, for any normal Vulcan on the high side of 100.
So what's worse than trying to cure a deadly disease? Well, how about trying to cure a deadly disease that you accidentally created? In the 2009 film The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, James Franco plays a scientist trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's by testing out different medicines on apes.
The source of the virus was traced back to drug testing done at Genesis Laboratories in San Francisco.
A lab technician, now known as Patient Zero, was accidentally exposed to retrovirus ALZ-113, an Alzheimer's trial drug that was being tested on chimpanzees.
This unintentionally leads to both an ape rebellion, let's face it, animal testing sucks, but it also leads to this Alzheimer's cure actually causing a disease called the simian flu, which ends up wiping out most of the world's human population and setting up an excellent sequel.
Apes! Together! Strong!
See, there you go. Everything is James Franco's fault. The symptoms of a simian flu? Well, it seems coughing up blood is a pretty regular occurrence when it comes to these types of things. The simian flu causes society to slowly break down as it spreads, and soon enough the Earth becomes the planet of the apes. Let's check out another disease that originated as a cure. In the 2007 film I Am Legend, scientists work on a cure for cancer by re-engineering a measles virus called the virus.
Now, how many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many are cancer-free?
10,009.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes. Yes, we have.
The results end up pretty badly though, as 90% of humans die from a virus, only 1% of the population are immune, and those who don't die get turned into screaming zombie vampire things. The symptoms? Well, if you haven't died, then the first thing to note is if your skin starts looking more and more like poorly rendered CGI, and your mouth grows by about 200% as you run around screaming for Will Smith. So aside from poorly rendered CGI and a giant mouth, it's business as usual.
That's what I call a close encounter.
We're gonna finish off with the absolutely worst entry on here. I bring you the flesh-eating fever from the 2002 film Cabin Fever. In this movie, which is horror staple Eli Roth's directorial debut, a group of people go on a relaxing camping trip. Seriously, when are camping trips in horror films ever relaxing? Anyway, they end up getting exposed to a horrible virus that causes your body to rot. Symptoms? Skin falling off and your body basically deteriorating rapidly. Yeah, it's that gross.
Oh no, she's fucking got it. Oh shit.
From disgusting shaving accidents to other really sick stuff, the fever causes these college students to fall apart, literally.
What's not funny?
As they look to find a cure that unfortunately for them doesn't seem to exist.
You know where a hospital is around?
So that about does it for this episode of Sci-Fi Night LIGHT. We hope you enjoyed it.
Don't look so good.
If I missed your favorite sci-fi horror disease, let me know what it is in the comments below.
You're sick.
I'm your host, Sebastian Bendel Martinez, and I'm signing out.
I estimate that physically we each have less than a week to live. We will be little better than mental vegetables in a considerably lesser time.